Are we excited, my lovelies? I'm excited. I'm very excited. Even though I know for a fact I'm not going to be getting any answers, I am very intrigued. Today, we are starting on the Ozmafia route. On Robin Hood's route, I mean. Which is something I've been looking forward to since we finished Hamelin's route, honestly. But I didn't want to do them back to back. Because I made a list and I'm like, I'm sticking to my list. Like, Scarlet and a few others I'll move, but otherwise I'm sticking to the list. Sticking to the list. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about bumping my mic there. Bene. There we go. Consistency with the brand. But yes, supposedly, someone Robin Hood cared about very much was killed by Hamelin, and this person was a female, and I'm pretty sure they had romantic relations, because that's just the vibe that was being given off. Let me turn this down a little. There we go. That was the vibe. And he just shows up week 1, because he's like one of the 5 people we know. 6 people we know, pardon me. I gotta muscle through my Aussie accent here. Hello! And I've instantly forgotten how to do the accent. Oh, you're from any Aussies. What's wrong? Not feeling well? Oh, no, I'm feeling quite well. I thought I'd just come to visit. Am I in the way? No, of course not. Although it's hard to imagine a normal person deciding to spend their free time in a clinic for fun. What a strange girl you are. But wouldn't that make you strange too, Doctor? Me? What about me? Huh. There was only a pointed beak where his face should have been, without any eyes or mouth. It was a peculiar sight. It almost seemed like the darkness had a will of its own. Huh. You really do look like a crow. I believe you said the same thing to me yesterday. You really do, though. You wear all black and you even have a beak. Can you No. No, I cannot. Huh? I cannot fly. I sincerely doubt I could even glide. Oh. Why do you look so disappointed? You say you can't fly, so does that mean you've tried? Tried? What? Ah, I see. Are you asking me to prove it to you by leaping off a cliff? Don't you think that's a rather lofty request of the town's only doctor? No, You may not have specified the method, but you were effectively saying the same thing. I'm sorry, I won't bring it up again. I think I might have offended him. Well, there may be some merit to such an experiment. Huh? Well, that's rather dark. Cool. I might gain some insight into the feelings of those who hurl themselves to their deaths. May learn something from the experience. Perhaps I would even fly through the sky, as you desire. No, you can't. And why not? Aren't you the one who suggested it? If you leap off a cliff, you'll surely die. Have you ever seen someone plunge to their death? That's scary. Fuck. Have you ever seen someone plunge to their death? There we go. There we go. I don't know. You don't know? Oh, that's alright. You have amnesia. Keep forgetting that. Yes, I do know it would be dangerous to throw yourself off a cliff, though. Guess you could figure that much out with your imagination. Seen the aftermath before. Autopsies are part of my job too. About a 2-hour walk outside the town. There is a cliff ideal for such purposes. Below it are rocks and a forest. Generally, the remains are carried in from there. It's much better if they hit the trees for a softer landing. When they land on the rocks, they barely resemble humans at all anymore. So glad we have this light and peppy music while we're talking about suicide. Aren't you scared? Scared? What is there to be scared of? The dead can't harm me. Corpses are nothing to be scared of. But the living, now those are the ones you should fear. Is there anything you happen to be afraid of? Something I'm afraid of? Yes. With your amnesia, though, you might not be able to come up with anything. He reached for the bookshelf and pulled out a file with her name on it. Let me know for future reference if you can come up with anything. What scares me is... your face. Nothing. Your face scares me. Fuck. I feel like nothing is the wrong answer. But your face is mean, so I don't know. Maybe he's into that. He's a darker, more brooding type, so maybe your face would be an appropriate response to this. A reminder, if someone shows suicidal tendencies, just say that you're scared of their face. Don't do this. Actually, don't do this. I'm scared of your face. Nope, that was the wrong answer. Shoot. Your face, I guess. My face? Why would you say such a thing? Yes, it's different from everyone else's. Now you're just being silly. Of course everyone's faces are different. You rarely find two people with identical faces. Although, others most feel the same way. Others? Sometimes I make house calls at night. People scream. I'll just be walking along, not even trying to speak to anyone or anything. Don't you think that's rude? Well, that's because your face is scary. Yes, that's why I'm not terribly surprised by your reaction. But I am who I am, and I am this town's only doctor. Please get used to my face as soon as you can. No, I refuse. Show me your beautiful face. Show me the handsome one. No, get out of here with those stuff. And Scarlet stuff, apparently. These are things. Which apparently happened. That sounds great. Do that. What? Okay, here we go. Hello, Mr. Dr. Crow. Not Mr. Doctor. You have a title. And, like, a PhD and shit. I assume, if they give out PhDs in this world. Oh, Bunny. You certainly look healthy. You aren't here for medical treatment, I imagine. I came to hang out. I see. Well, I have nothing to do at the moment, so I don't mind. You shouldn't get into the habit of expecting me to be able to entertain you, though. Okay, understood. One moment. So why the clinic of all places? Today is Sunday. It's a rare chance for you to visit locations outside Oz territory, is it not? Well, I was told they were hostile, so... Oh, that reminds me. Which familia do you belong to, Doctor? Which? I heard that everyone in this town belongs to one, and I conveniently forget it in every other route, except for this one. Which one do you belong to? Oz? No. I am not affiliated with any familia. If I were forced to declare an affiliation, it would be with this clinic. The clinic? Yes. Sherwood Clinic is my familia. Sounds powerful. Ooh. Wow, that sounds pretty powerful. Ooh. Powerful? In what way? I guess the sound of the name. And you too, Doctor. I like how you're so mysterious and enigmatic. I never have any idea what you're thinking. Are you trying to insult me? Huh? Well, if you aren't, that's fine. Did I say something bad? Now, that is a good question. Familiar associations have nothing to do with me. I'm a doctor. And they are my patients. All my patients are equal. I will heal any injured person who comes here. That is my role. Then it must make you the top person in town. Top? Yeah, everyone in the Mafia is under your care, right? That must mean you're way, way more important than Mr. Carmi and the others. Shit. Fuck. No, I've dropped something. No. Perhaps. You could say that. Yeah, probably. Probably, huh? I have no interest in social standing, so it doesn't really click for me, but... Well, I guess it's not a terrible thought. No. That's cute. That's real cute. Dark and brooding fellow. I am going to be a little upset when this is over and I have to start out with a whole brand new bunch of people and pick new accents. Like, running out of accents is terrible. But, like, at least there are some that I'm familiar with that when they come up, I'm like, I can do this. I know this one. I can do this fine. Or at least I think I can. Nobody's complained yet, so. Oh, this is the part where we get kidnapped. This is probably going to be interesting since a bunch of people will be, like, at least injured from this shit. Axel most of all. Nope, do not click, man boy. There we go. Hello, Dr. Crow. Oh, Bunny. Excellent timing. Excellent timing? Could you come over here and sit in that chair? Okay. I see. What's so interesting about my arm? I'm not looking at just your arm. I'm checking to make sure you aren't injured. I would really like to perform a more thorough examination, but you don't seem to have any problems. Examination? Examination? I feel like I'm mispronouncing that. No, I'm not. I'm not mispronouncing it. What the hell's wrong with me? Okay. Why? I'm curious. I'm curious about how you managed to infiltrate the Wolfgang so easily. Considering his personality, it's rather strange that you escaped unharmed. Yes, it really is. You really don't have a care in the world, do you? You should work on developing at least some sense of impending danger. I may be able to cure diseases and heal wounds, but I cannot bring the dead back to life. Once you're dead, there's nothing to cure. Take better care of yourself. Alright? I understand. I'll be more careful. I would be very happy if you did as you say. Helpless people seem to have a propensity for sticking their neck into danger. I'll be fine. Probably. Breaking your promise already? I didn't mean it that way. It's just hard to make a promise like that with absolute certainty. I see. Well, I guess the situation you're in makes it a bit difficult after all. So long as you're with Familia Oz, there are any number of opportunities for you to be embroiled in conflict. However, you do have the ability to decide whether to join in. You ought to keep your head, regardless of the situation. Yes, I'll try my best. Please do. There isn't anything more emotionally trying than performing an autopsy knowing there is absolutely nothing I can do to change the situation. Oof. We've got another character who's dissatisfied with the eternal fighting bit. He's a strange person. He's a weirdo. He's a frickin' weirdo. doing it because I want to. So, we've been introduced to the concept of festivals, so maybe that'll come up. Dr. Crow, do you know anything about the beauty pageant? Of course I do. It's a festival to decide the most beautiful woman in town. You wouldn't happen to be participating this year, would you? How did you know? I didn't. I simply guessed. Is Familia Oz putting you up this year? I guess it's not that unusual, considering Kiri's personality. Take care not to get too nervous and faint on stage. I'll be careful. I see. It's already that time of year again. I spend so much time cooped up in the clinic, the seasons pass right by without my notice. You don't go out much? I don't. Wouldn't it be quite a problem if the doctor was out when someone needed him? I am free enough to have relaxing chats like this with you, though. His wife. His wifey. Yes, the beauty pageant. My wife used to participate. Your wife? Yes. She was so happy to be selected as a contestant, as I recall. She took the crown, too. I still can't forget the smile on her face. Really? I'm surprised to hear he has a wife. Had a wife. He had a wife. She gone. Okay? Dr. Crow, you're married? And for some reason that was the wrong choice to ask the man if he's married? The men that we've been hanging out with alone, just BT dubs? You said my wife. Ah, yes. I do have a wife. Really? I'm kind of surprised. Do I look like a bachelor or something? Yes, I mean, because of how I look. You always call me a crow. It wasn't hard to guess what you were going to say. Even one such as myself has someone who would love him. The world is a truly mysterious place. Tell me about your wifey, please. I want to know. I want to know all about that wife. That wife life, if you will. Suck it up. Okay. So I won by default. Here we go. Having a trophy is so nice. She lifted it up, examining it from every angle. She'd been so confused when they'd first told her she'd won. But as time went on, she felt happier and happier about it. I know. I should show Dr. Crow. Yeah, that'll be a great thing. Remind him of his dead wife. Fuck it up. Fuck around, find out. Dr. Crow? It's completely silent. I guess he's not here. He said he never really goes out, though. Well, he does house calls. Huh? Don't fuck around. Yeah, I wonder who that is. Who is that? Who's that wearing Dr. Crow's clothing? It's a robber who stole his clothes. Such pretty blonde hair. It glimmers in the light. Maybe he's the doctor's friend. Sweetie. Sweetie. Oh, he seems like he's waking up. Oh, he's got a little ring. It's so cute. Who is it? Bunny. When did you... Huh? You know my name? Are you a relative of Dr. Crow's? You don't look anything like him. He's been wearing a fucking mask this whole time. You fucking bitch. I start up this game fully aware that Futa is completely stupid. But there's always something that, like, sends it over the edge each time. Like, she's not only as stupid as you think, but worse. But your clothes are the same color. What on earth are you babbling about? I'm sorry. Are you a friend of Dr. Crow? His friend? I'm Robin Hood himself. Bitch. Huh? No way! The doctor I know doesn't have such a pretty face. Hey now, that's a married man. You gotta calm down. Pretty face. Yeah, it's like black and he has a beak and stuff. That's his actual face. A beak, huh? You wouldn't happen to mean this. I love that there's still question marks, like we can't figure it out. The man claiming to be Robin Hood took a few steps away and opened up a drawer. He pulled something out. Is this what you're calling my face? Dr. Crow's head! Huh? What? Come again? A severed head? Bunny! Snap out of it. He's got that hip sway. Shit. But again, he's a married man. We must calm down. And nothing else of consequence happened. Whatever you think is good. Fuck it up, Kenneth. Pancakes sure are fucking delicious. They're the best. Dr. Crow does the examination stuff. So we'll get to hear about exams. Or maybe about the fact that his face isn't a fucking mask. Eh? Is he just not gonna wear the mask now? Hello! Oh, Bunny. Did you come to spend time with me again? You really do have strange tastes. Oh, good. You're here. Good. What do you mean by that, exactly? I'm so happy you're alive. I thought you were dead. I think Axel carried me back to the estate when I collapsed in the clinic. Oh, I dead-ass passed out. Oh, shit. Who was that person? 1 second. I need to collect myself before I can deadpan properly. Who was that person? Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me. Curious? Huh? About the identity of the man you saw. He was me. Ooh. Molting? why it always takes me so long. No. It's just a mask. That's all it is. A mask? Yes. Like a disguise of sorts. So it's not a severed head? Of course not. It would just be disturbing if there really was an animal with a face like this. True. It doesn't even have eyes. Yeah? That's some creatures of the deep type shit you got going on there. You said you can't fly, didn't you? Yes, I did. I recall that. Though I guess now that I think about it, it was more like a mask than a beak. Well, consequently, it is a mask. And your voice wasn't all squawky like a crow either. Sweats nervously. Well, yes, to an extent. And you sure were thinking about a lot of things you never mentioned. Well, of course. I had to convince myself that there could be a person who was half bird and half human. Wait, if they're half bird and half human, maybe it would be weird to still call them a person? Well, what would you call someone like that, Doctor? I'm not sure why it matters. I am a person after all. Oh, right. Well, now I know you're not actually a crow, Doctor. Now I do, yeah. But can't I keep calling you Dr. Crow until I get used to this? This whole being a human thing? I don't mind. Do as you like. Thanks. What is it? Why are you hanging your head? Oh, no. There's just too much of a disconnect between how you usually look, I guess. She blushing. You're just so pretty. I can't stop staring. Pretty, huh? I'm not sure if I should be happy about that. I'm not just being nice. You really are pretty. Like, they are all pretty. Hold on. Okay? A majority of the characters here are very pretty. I can think of maybe... Let's see. Ande is very pretty. Romeo and Juliet, the frogs, are definitely pretty. Melissa's is pretty. Heidi is pretty. For themselves. Peter is absolutely pretty. Peter can tell me. Gracious. Why do you cover your pretty face up with a mask? It seems like such a waste. Share your gift with the world. Please. Because I need to. Need to? Yes. It's something I need to do. Yeah, no, they're all pretty. Holy crap. I think it's just Ande that doesn't appeal to me. Fuck. Even Scarlet's cute. And Gretel is cute. And Hansel is cute. So is cute. But not like cute as in DTF cute, you know? Not that Scarlet's DTF cute. I'm working myself deeper into a hole. I'm just gonna stop. Is what Mr. Karami and the others said about you true? There isn't a disease you can't cure? Yes. That is true. So long as the patient is still alive. I can prevent deaths from just about anything except old age. At least, I should be able to. Long, awkward pause. Doctor? Oh, sorry. I got a bit wrapped up in my own thoughts. At any rate. In terms of medical treatment, I can do just about anything. At least nowadays. That's amazing. Nope, that was the wrong answer, apparently. It's pretty amazing that you can do anything. Thank you for the trite compliment. Hey, that's mean to call it trite. I really think you're amazing, asshole. I just fail at everything I do. I'm jealous of you. You have nothing to be jealous of. This isn't a matter of talent. It's not? Correct. My abilities as a physician are the result of years of hard work and experience. That's why even I can say with confidence that I can do just about anything. So what you're saying is, if I work hard, I can be like you. Yes, you're a bit careless though, so it might be somewhat difficult for you. Uh-huh. Oh, I guess I should have said quite, not somewhat. Please don't say that. It's gonna bother me. Like, emotionally and stuff. At least he recognizes the dumb thought energy. I really wish, like, I know it's like probably old hat now to drag protagonists through the mud a little bit, but like there are protagonists I enjoy of games of this nature. But, like, most of them are Japanese imports, and I can't play them. Or at least if I can, I'd have to pirate things. Hello! We're back. Nice seeing you again. I've been wondering how you've been since I treated you last, Gretel. You're a doctor, can't you tell by looking at me? Huh, Gretel was hurt? It's got nothing to do with you, little girl. Don't you talk to me like we're friends. I don't approve of you in the slightest. Oh, I've got a good idea, Hansel. Let's hurt her. Give her the thing. Huh? Hurt Bunny, but why? So we can get back at those Oz bastards for getting ahead of themselves. Oh right, that's a good idea. Like that idea. I can't say I find the notion of inciting violence in a clinic particularly admirable. This is my holy ground. If you feel like causing trouble, I will eliminate you with extreme prejudice. I feel like I've slipped back into Curious voice, but you know. Do no harm, oh fucking be damned. Extreme prejudice? If administered improperly, medicine can become poison. In a sense, this place is a treasure treasure trove of toxins. Mincing you up with a scalpel might be nice too. I'm quite accustomed to performing autopsies and dissection. I guess we'll leave it at this today. Let's get out of here, Hansel. Okay, see you later. Okay. They left. Yes. It's a good thing they give up easily. When you were threatening them, you were pretty... scary. Shit. Scary. I see. Guess I was right on the mark then. This place is full of dangerous drugs. It would be rather troublesome if someone was injured by handling them thoughtlessly. Take care that your curiosity doesn't get the better of you. Okay. Now then, it doesn't seem that I'll have any injured patients to tend to. So why don't we have a little tea party? Tea party? Yes. Hansel and Gretel left some pastries on the table over there, didn't they? Oh, when did those get there? Are you sure it's okay to eat them? Now she shows some decorum. Now. I think so. There are more pastries than they would... There are more pastries than they would know what to do with over there. They'll just go to waste if we leave them. It seems like a better use of resources to stuff them away in our bellies. I'll make some tea, so please have a seat. Oh, okay. Do you take your mask off when you eat? Of course I do. I can't exactly eat like this. Oh! It's the pretty face again. What's wrong? No, nothing at all. You know, nothing is wrong. The difference between what his face actually looks like and that mask is just too huge. It always startles me. I guess I'm still not used to it since it's making my heart race. Again, calm down. We got a married dude. Sure, his wife's dead, but you know. Calm the fuck on, man. Calm down. Gracious. Not that, you know, I am not also thinking that he's pretty. But I've pretty much shown that what my opinion of pretty is. Familiar Grimm again, Robin Hood sighed, leafing through Axel's chart. So about Axel's condition. She glanced over at the bed. Axel was sound asleep, his wounds wrapped in bandages. He's fine. He's steadily built, after all. He should wake up soon, and he'll probably be whining for sweets. Whining. He's not an animal. She smiled and let out a sigh of relief. I was so surprised when it happened. It was just so sudden. I couldn't do anything. Well, of course you couldn't. You're a civilian. People like you generally die without being able to do a thing. Die? Yes, in battle. The Mafia and their little battles are so troublesome. Do they really think the work they do for the public good absolves them? There are those who feel they have a right to resort to violence for any reason. I wonder if they know who has to clean up their mess after the fact. I wish we could have fewer meaningless conflicts. Yeah, it's sad when people get hurt. Scarlet's good about that kind of thing. Scarlet is. Yes, I heard it's his policy to try to resolve things through negotiation, not violence. I think it's nice when fights can be solved with words. It's nothing more than a silly fantasy. Huh? Doctors would lose their jobs if all conflict could be solved with a little talk. He's a bit naive. So he is of the notion that this mafia thing is bullshit. But he's also not someone who's like, we can change the world if we set our mind to it, type thing. I can get behind that. I can absolutely get behind that. Bunny, I'm told you were in a dangerous situation again. Yes, but I wasn't hurt. Scarlet stopped them. Scarlet, huh? You really are reckless. Judging from your expression right now, no amount of warning is going to get through to you, huh? You think so? Yes. I would even go so far as to say I'm positive that no matter what I'll tell you, you'll hurl yourself into danger once again before too long. I may be able to cure your wounds, but just between the two of us, I'm worried about your reckless attitude. Maybe I should lock you up somewhere to alleviate my fear. Well, isn't that fitting that we're using Toma's voice for this, isn't it? Oh no. Me? Oh no. It's all a conspiracy to get me to use Toma's voice for this character. Shit. Yes, you. I would lock you up in a quiet place where no one would find you. You're kidding, right? Hopefully. Yeah? You're having you're joshing me, eh? Of course. I'd never do something like that. Hold on. That was completely sarcastic. Of course. I'd never do something like that. Oh, well, that's good. At any rate, please take care when you're walking about outside. This town may seem peaceful, but it is controlled by the Mafia. Conflicts could arise any time, anywhere. Time to go immediately get hurt. I don't remember what happens after this, but I assume this segues into us getting hurt. Nope, okay. This is Scarlet apologizing. Scarlet really didn't need to apologize. Dr. Robin, I came to pick up the medicine I asked for recently. Mr. Karamiya. Oh, Signorina, you're here again. Doesn't he get mad and tell you the clinic isn't the playground? How do I get mad at her? She comes because I let her. Here, the medicine you asked for. Grazie. What is it? You keep staring at my face. Why? Hi? Well, I haven't seen your unmasked face in a long while. Really? Yeah. Jokes aside, that was it. There we go. Yeah. Jokes aside, I don't think I've seen it in a few years. I guess you wouldn't know that, though. It sure hasn't changed much since I last saw it. Oh, were you expecting something? You should stop wearing that gloomy mask. You're so handsome, it's such a waste. No. Please don't pay me any mind. Ah, man. So Dr. Crow is back again. I like you better this way. Really? Because you're more used to him like this? Yes, his face always startles me. Startles you? Oh, should I not have said that? You seemed annoyed, so I tried to play along. I think you should have probably kept that to yourself. Oh. Oh. That's so like you, Signorina. You mean how rude she is? You mean how rude she is? Rude, huh? You know, there are other ways you could say things, like how honest she is, how incredibly unflowery language she has. And she's so bad at lying, even I can see right through it. Don't you think it's cute? Mr. Karamia, was that a compliment? It was, Miss Bunny. Really? I don't think he's complimenting you. Although he may have a point about wording. Or perhaps perception is more the issue. Cute, hmm? What, do you think I'm cute? Do you think I'm cute? Who, me? And then if I recall, nothing here happens. No, wait, hold up. Okay, there we go. I got to talk to Ande recently. Help. Okay. We're gonna take it again after a sip of water. Oh no, I'm out of water. This explains everything. This is what's wrong with the equilibrium. Okay. Now that the world has been righted. I got to talk to Ande recently. She sure has a lot of energy. Yes, maybe a bit too much energy even. Really? She may come to be treated for an illness, but she'll refuse medicine with all her might and then threaten to burn down the clinic. She's a rather troublesome patient. That sure sounds like Ande. Oh, that's right. You're married, aren't you, Dr. Robin? Tell us about that, please. Oh, yes. What of it? Do you have any kids? No, I don't yet. Yet? She's dead. What are you planning on? Because perhaps I might have some, someday. At present, I do not. Oh. Y'all waiting? Or is she dead? Convenient question is convenient. Would you want children when you marry? Mary? Yes. Surely you will someday. Oh, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it since I don't even have a boyfriend. Slip. Hint. Subtle hint. I see. Well, I'm sure that won't last long. You are a sociable girl, so sure you'll find someone in short order. I'm sure you'll find someone in short order. Really? Yes. I could even guarantee it for you if you'd like. That's very reassuring if you say so, Doctor. Is it? It's not as if I can actually make any promises. Couldn't even set you up with someone or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. It's the sentiment that counts. I'm happy that you were thinking about me. Thinking about you, I didn't exactly mean it that way. Huh? Then how did you mean it? I just said it for appearances. Surely you can understand what an empty compliment is. That's all words are, after all. It's much easier to make an effort to say what the person you're talking to wants to hear. Well, damn, Robin Hood. You ain't gotta toy with me like this. That's why you don't make waves. That way you don't make waves or cause conflict. You sound pretty firm about this. Yes. If I hadn't spoiled it, I would have gotten lost in La La Land and never come out. La La Land. What's wrong with getting lost in it? Isn't it nicer to do that than assume it was a lie? You certainly are stubborn. I ought to pray that someone who can lead you back to reality will soon appear. Yes, please do. Oh, that was cute. Fucking Robin Hood telling us how we really feel, though. Like, if it breathes, it be a liar. Gracious. Mercy me. Okay, so comes along and is like, the wolf gang is gonna attack. And so I assume we're gonna be like, yo, the wolf gang is gonna attack. And Dr. Robin Hood's like, they don't have any casualties. Shut up. I wonder if Mr. Caesar's really gonna show up. Hey. It had been so peaceful, she'd almost forgotten he existed. I wonder if he's gonna chase and threaten to kill me again. She was fairly confident that Karami and the others would protect her if it came down to it. But it was still weighing on her mind. Why are you sighing? Oh, did I? Yes, and quite dramatically too, might I add. You could talk to me about it if you're so inclined. I'm not terribly confident I'll be able to resolve your dilemma, though. Thank you. The thing that's bothering me is Mr. Caesar. Caesar? You mean from the Wolf Gang? Yes. There was some formal challenge thing, so delivered it. I'm coming to attack. Prepare yourselves. Rah! Huh. So things like that really do happen. How curious. Caesar seems rather crass, but maybe he has more delicate sensibilities than it seems. You don't think much about the challenge? Not really. What kind of reaction were you hoping for? I guess what I'm saying is, whatever happens, I'm sure that Karami and the others will be able to handle it. So don't worry. If an outside threat posed that much of a problem, they wouldn't be very good at protecting the town. I'm sure they'll get it sorted out. Hearing you say that really puts me at ease. Really, things must be so simple for you. But Caesar, huh? He repeated the Wolfgang boss's name over and over. Something about him bother you? He nodded. I am a bit curious about them. About Mr. Caesar and his friends? Yes. I wish they would come to the clinic. I worry about their health. You're such a nice person, Dr. Crow. That's not true. It's just something you end up worrying about as a physician. You could almost say it's an occupational hazard. I'm not a particularly nice person. I wish they'd at least get regular checkups. Mr. Caesar doesn't seem to be particularly well either. Yes. I am especially concerned about him. He's so pale that he looks almost like he's been bleached. I wonder if he's eating right. Is he getting enough sunlight? Is his lifestyle healthy? Perhaps I will take a trip out to them when I find the time. Dude, his eyes are so fucking pretty. Shoot. You're so focused. Huh, do you really mean that? In part, at least. I don't exactly have the time, and I'm uncomfortable leaving this place, so I doubt it'll actually happen. But I am truly curious about them. Let's see. This happens, nobody takes it seriously. When Caesar shows up and is like, remember the duel? And they're like, oh yeah, we forgot. I want to help. Oh no, we can't do the chocolate pine. And then he goes away and nothing happens. Because he's like, I'm scary. And they're like, nah, bitch, sit down. And he's like, I'm leaving. You'll hurt my feelings. Good morning. Well, you're here early today. Yes, Mr. Carmia wanted me to deliver this to you. To me? Homemade pancakes from Mr. Carmia. He told me to bring you the leftovers. Hi. Well, please tell him thank you for me. I will. Do you always open the clinic this early, Doctor? I'm a bit at a loss for how to answer that. Technically, the clinic does have set hours, but practically speaking, it's always open. I never know when an emergency case will roll in. Really? It must be hard to deal with all that by yourself. It's not really. I'm used to it. Is that something you can get used to? You should get some help. If it's open every day, then he must not go home. I wonder how his wife feels about that. Well, you know, she might be dead. Dr. Crow, do you live with your wife? Yes, of course. We are a married couple. Why do you ask? Doesn't your wife get sad? Sad. Yes, if you're always at the clinic, you must not go home much, right? I just thought your wife might be sad waiting for you like that. I mean, I know I would be. That's just what I ended up imagining. Why? She's a very understanding person. I don't think she would be sad. Oh, really? I guess she must be really mature then. Yeah, that she is. You're free to think about whatever you like. But I wish you'd just leave me be. What's so fun about sticking your nose into someone else's private business? Sticking my nose in? You're trying to meddle. You may not be doing it purposely, but I can't tolerate it. I can't. We've barely met. What right do you think you have to do that? Doctor. Perhaps you should go home today, before I say something more cruel to you. Oh shit. Oh shit. You're just asking about your wife, who you're probably still mad about. Probably as indefinitely still mad about being dead. Absolutely 100%. Oh no, he's like, oh, I'm gonna do it at the festival, and then he shows up and there's like a duel. Oh. Robin Hood's the last one left. We can't leave you alone now. I'm sorry. Not that we had any intention to. I can't get Dr. Crow's wife off my mind. Neither can he. If he won't tell me about her, maybe I can ask someone else. Oh, let's hear about that. Hey, Carmi. You want to know about Dr. Robin's wife? Yeah, I thought you guys might know about her. Ah, well, what do you think, Kitty? Why are you asking me? She asked you. I don't have anything to do with it. Oh, but you do. No. Oh, but you do. She said you guys, you're involved. Advise me, conciliere. That was very hard R. Ah, very well, Miss Bunny. Yes? Silent? Silent. Yes. We would prefer not to speak about this particular incident. Is that acceptable, Karamia? Yeah. Sorry we couldn't help, Signorina. Oh, well, you know, what are you guys for anyways? Axel, do you know anything? The Don didn't tell you? Yeah, he said he didn't want to talk. Kiri, too. Oh. Well, then I should probably follow suit. You too? Yeah. As Capragim, I think I should abide by their judgment. And it's not something to be spoken about so easily. Everybody's doing the sad touch. No one would talk to me about it. Why won't they tell me anything? So naturally you can assume that mayhaps haps something terrible has happened to this poor woman. Oh, if it isn't Miss Bunny. Mr. Kiri, Axel. Wait, is this the... Yes, it is. Okay, cool. I'll join you. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. So we can do all this stuff. Mr. Carmi and the others wouldn't tell me about Dr. Crow's wife. I wonder who else I could ask. She sighed, watching the people walk to and fro. Ah! She saw a familiar figure in the crowd and ran up to it. Miss Pachette! Oh, aren't you familiar Oz's? Bunny, yeah, hello. Oh, that's right. That was your name. What is it? Do you need something? I wanted to ask you something about Dr. Crow. Pashette gave her a quizzical look. B. B. In a different font. Okay. Crow. Oh, Robin Hood. What about him? You wouldn't happen to know anything about his wife, would you? Anything? Like what? Anything at all. I just want to know about her. Have you gotten his permission to be asking around like this? No, I just started on my own. He always gets mad when I ask him. Somebody tell the poor girl that this lady has passed and that she needs to, pipe down. Well, that makes sense. It's not hard to imagine. If Robin Hood refuses to speak to you about it, I won't either. You should stop asking around for his sake, too. For his sake? Yes. You're not asking around to upset him, are you? Of course not. Then you should stop at once. As they say, curiosity killed the cat. Just leave him be. But we're not going to do that. How about if we left him be, but then we didn't? We're just going to make the man really sad. That's the plan. We're going to make all of Oz very sad. Meteor shower gathering time. Hello, Dr. Crow. Bunny, what a surprise. I didn't think you would be back. Me? Yes. I was quite harsh with you, wasn't I? I felt rather remorseful for what I said, after all. There were other ways I could have handled that. I'm sorry for being so childish about it. Oh, no, it wasn't your fault at all. It's mine for saying all those things without even thinking about it. Well, I guess that's not inaccurate either. What's the matter? That was a pretty quick turnaround. It's true, though. You do always speak without thinking. I was actually quite shocked that you were even aware of it. Oh, well, I'm sorry for shocking you. That wasn't the point. She cleared her throat and then looked him straight in the eye. To be honest, I was asking around about you. About me? Who were you asking? Mr. Carmia, Mr. Kiri, Axel, and even Ms. Pashette. My. Another large-scale investigation. So, what did they tell you? They didn't tell me anything. Miss Pashette even got mad at me and told me I shouldn't be asking around. She's probably right. If I'm gonna find out from anyone, it should be from you. But I'm sorry for doing something so rude. I won't do it anymore, so don't worry. I didn't know you were snooping around about me. I wouldn't have found out if you hadn't confessed, so why did you decide to tell me? I can't hide it from you. I did something I shouldn't have. I thought I should tell you and apologize. I see. You have much more integrity than I do. The situation with my family isn't exactly a secret. As you must know, there are more than a few people familiar with my circumstances. However, I don't have the courage to talk about it. Not that talking will change anything. Doctor, I might be able to tell you someday. Really? Yes. I think I'd like you to meet my wife too. I'm sure she'd want to meet you. Well then, I'll be patient. I can't wait to meet her. Aw, no. That just hurts my feelings. Now everyone in Oz has hurt feelings. It was the day of the meteor shower gathering. She had gotten permission from Karmi and the others to go out on the town by herself. Wow, there are so many shooting stars. The lights in town were turned down low, as they could be, so as to not obscure the shooting stars. I fucked that line up every single time? Okay. She made her way to the square, watching her step. How nice. Everyone's with someone else. Couples of men and women, married couples, others were probably just friends or recent acquaintances. But there were a few like her, alone. Maybe Dr. Crow is spending time with his wife somewhere. It was a simple question, but her feelings on the matter were complicated. Thinking about Robin Hood made her happy, but thinking about the person he might be with made her chest hurt. This is why you don't get it going for the married men. Calm down. What is this weird feeling? I mean, it's fine. We know it's fine because we know that she's dead. But like, for you who doesn't know that, that's inexcusable. Come on, man. Calm down. Maybe I should stop by the clinic. Maybe she would see him. Maybe she wouldn't. Maybe it would be a waste of time. But seeing his face was something she wanted to do today, especially because of what day it was. It doesn't seem to be locked. Maybe I can just slip inside. Hey, Bunny. Doctor! It was almost like a completely different world inside the clinic's walls. It was so normal, as if the festivities hadn't laid a finger on the atmosphere inside. You're not participating in the festival, Dr. Crow? I'm not really one to make a big fuss over watching the stars. There's no point in wishing for things that won't come true. Do you not believe in the festival ritual? No. I stopped believing in it a long time ago. The more you believe in something, the greater the shock when your expectations are betrayed. That's why I don't believe in anything. It's a self-defense mechanism of sorts. Do you include people in that defense mechanism thingy? Do I look like such a callous man? Well, ultimately, that's what I am. It's easier this way. If you lack faith, you aren't upset when things deviate from expectations. If you lack hope, you can't be disappointed. No matter how close you are to others, you will ultimately be alone. Dude is mood, but dude is sad. I don't think that's true. People aren't all alone. Why do you say that? I was kind of alone, but then I found the Ozes. Have you ever thought about their true intentions? True intentions? Yes. You don't really think they're just nice guys who decided to let you live with them for free, do you? You've never considered that they're using you to some end? Well, that does sound like something Mr. Curie said. But that's fine with me. I don't have anything to offer. I'm happy if I can be useful in some way. Chick is mood. But Chick is also sad. No. Why is the mood sad? This isn't the vibe. I see. So that's how you think. Is that wrong? Not particularly. It just reminded me that you think rather differently than I do. Just to be clear, I'm not trying to persuade you to agree with me. If you want to believe in the festival ritual, by all means, that is your right. I won't argue whether it's good or bad. I won't impose any valuation on it. Then I'm going to believe in it. So could you grant my wish? What is it? Robin Hood smiled and said, to the best of my knowledge, you're supposed to wish on stars, not the town doctor. That's not what I meant. My wish is related to you, Dr. Crow. Here we go. Very well. Try me. Can I stay here all day today? I don't mind. But don't you think you'll be able to see the stars better outside? Are you going out? Not unless I'm called out to an emergency, no. Then I'm staying here. Also, please let me call you Dr. Robin. Sure, I don't mind. You're the one who started calling me Crow, after all. I'd actually welcome you calling me by my proper name. Okay, thank you, Dr. Robin. Was that all you wanted to ask? Yes, I was so torn up about your name, I thought I should ask you sometime. I'm glad I got it cleared up today. What a relief. Big weight off my shoulders. I see. Relieved, huh? You really are a simple girl. You can find happiness in the most trivial of things. You have something I don't. I'm jealous. Duh! This ending is going to make everybody sad. I can feel it. We're just all going to be sad. Dr. Robin, why did you become a doctor in the first place? What's all this all of a sudden? Well, you do make your livelihood as a doctor, right? Well, yes. If something's bothering you, couldn't you just come out and say it? I'm not very good at guessing, and this roundabout approach just takes more time. Oh, okay. Well, do you think I'm okay the way I am? The way you are. When I watch you work, I start thinking about how I'm just being taken care of by the Oz family. I see. I think it's a good thing to be thinking about. A good thing? Yes. You're talking about taking proactive action on your own, right? Isn't that a wonderful thing? It is, because most people have been like, TikTok lady, pick a place. Thank you. But I don't know how. What can I even do? And how can I make money? Why don't you work here then? At the clinic? Fuck, I'd imagine just having an extra pair of hands would be helpful since he's all by himself anyways. Yes, I can't have you involved in administering treatments or surgery, but you could organize the shelves and keep track of the medicine stock. Maybe hold a lantern once you get your metal built up. I'd pay you a fair wage. Enough to pay the familia some rent and have a bit left over. Are you sure about that? Yes. I keep thinking I could use some help. I think it'd be good for the both of us. I won't force you. But you're welcome if you're interested. Thank you very much. I'll try my best. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but take care not to break things in your excitement. I'm not very good at scolding people whom I have no ill will toward. It's rather mentally and physically draining. Work at Dr. Robin's clinic. Yes, that way I'll cause less trouble for you all. Trouble? I don't really mind you taking it easy here like you have been. Well, I do mind. We can't keep a freeloader here who just eats our food forever. Also, what are your hours and how much are your wages? Thanks, Kiri. I don't have the details yet. I thought I'd get your permission first. So, are you intending to leave us eventually? Huh? Finding a job is part of becoming independent, and that means leaving the estate in the future. Does it? Well. Well, either way, the only people who live here are members of the Mafia. Maybe it suits a young lady like you better to live in town, rather than to live in a place that stinks of men. Oh, don't look so sad. We're not talking about anything immediate, right, Kiri? Yes. First you will pay rent, including what you owe for your stay so far. We can revisit the issue of your future after that's taken care of. Okay. Eh, well, meanie. Rude. Huh. So I guess the Signorina will leave us eventually. At some point, I just started to assume she'd be with us forever. Well, I don't mind her staying if she does so as a member of the familia. As if we could make her do something so awful. Flowers should bloom out in the fields, not a flower bed or a flower pot. Carmi's route's gonna be great. Excuse me. Oh, Axel. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. If I said I was here for an inspection, I'd be lying a bit. I just came to check on you. Check on me? Yes, to make sure you're not bothering the doctor. I'm not bothering him, I think. You think, huh? That's not a very inspiring answer. Are you handling drugs? You're paying close attention to the dosages, right? Of course I am. Most of them are in differently shaped bottles, and they have tags and everything. Look. Really? I'm surprised you can handle such a wide variety of drugs. Are their contents all different? Yeah, you use different ones depending on the ailment. I see. Were I a doctor, I'm sure my patients would die while I was trying to select which one to use. I thought someone was here. So is you, Axel. You can touch, but don't take care not to drop anything. Crikey. Hold on 1 second, let me try to... That I will. Doctors really are amazing. So are you, Bunny. Me too? Yes. They all look the same to me. All I am capable of is using the medicines the doctor prescribes me. I appreciate your confidence in my skills, but do take care to check your prescription over. It's something you're putting into your body. You should have some respect for it. It isn't an issue because you are always right. One of these days he's going to commit malpractice by accident. Or on purpose. One of the two. Bunny, Dr. Robin, we've come to visit. Excuse me. Mr. Karamia and Ms. Pachette, too. My goodness. The clinic isn't a playground. There are no toys here to speak of. Oh, don't say that. So is she doing a good job? I think so. I'm generally satisfied with her work. I see. Well, that's good, Signorina. Yep. What is it, Pachette? Have you developed a sudden interest in my mask? Karamia, you lied to me. What are you talking about? Isn't Robin Hood still wearing his mask as always? I thought I'd get the chance to see his real face for the first time in ages, but it seems this has been a complete waste. Didn't I tell you it was just that one day? Were you listening? Are those ears just for show or something? Meow. Meow what? How dare you insult my ears, you fool! What's this about his real face? It just happened to come up while we were talking casually. I just mentioned that I hadn't seen his face in ages, and that it was as pretty as ever. I have a pretty face. Oh, well, hold on. That was not it. I have a pretty face, huh? Interesting hearing that from another man. But it's true. Your hair is even silkier than mine. I'm sure the Signorina thinks you're very handsome, right? Of course I do. Of course Dr. Robin is very handsome. How can you say that so easily, right in front of me? Oh, is that a bad thing? No. It just reminded me of how young you are. You showed Bunny and even Karamia, but you won't show me your face? Mia what? It's not just you. I have no intention of showing my face to anyone else. What would seeing it even do for you? Nothing, right? It would satisfy my curiosity. Then I have even less reason to show you. What's with that look? It's not like I've seen it since then either. I think the only person who sees his face regularly is the Signorina, right? Are you saying he only shows it to Bunny? Oh, you're welcome to think with that if you like. She is my assistant, after all. Damn straight. Fucking assistant. One day I might even be a fucking nurse. Dude, that sprite has got to be cute as hell. Just Futa's in a little nurse costume. Her nun costume is real cute. Hello, I came for a little visit. Thought I'd stop by. Mr. Kiri. Hexel, Karami, and finally Kiri. Since those two came by, surely you could have predicted this turn of events. Miss Bunny, are you serving him well? Yes, the thought of being able to pay you guys back really gives me strength. Well, that's good to hear. I can't wait until I can spend your wages on alcohol. Thanks, Kiri. Are you really planning to use her money for something that worthless? Well, sorry for being worthless. But I get to use the money however I see fit. I guess that does sound very like you, Mr. Kiri. Like him, huh? You don't mind your money being used like that? Yes, it's not my money after all. And I don't see the problem as long as it's making someone, even Mr. Kiri, happy. It's like those flowery ideas of yours. They're not bad at all. I like those flowery ideas of yours. They're not bad at all. I worry about all sorts of... Well, I worry about the fact that I can't get into this accent properly. One moment. I worry about all sorts of things. Being deceived by bad men. Well, yes. Though you know, when you two are standing next to each other like that, you almost look like a married couple. Huh? There's a very natural air about you. You make quite a pair. Nobody's told Bunny that his wife is dead yet. But Dr. Robin has a wife. Yes, but she isn't here right now. At least not in this room, anyway. Kiri, stop it. You're going to upset her. The way you're protecting her is almost husbandly. I guess I should expect no less from someone who's actually married. Alright, now you've taken this too far. Stop teasing me about my wife. My. You have my most humble apologies. Fuck's sake. Ugh. I mean, what do you do with your married friends except tease them about them being married? Do I have married friends? One. Okay. Yeah. No, I haven't teased her yet about being married. I was teasing the one that was engaged until she was no longer engaged. And now I've decided quite firmly that I'm not teasing her about that anymore. Poor woman deserves a break. Bunny, do you have some spare time this evening? I wonder if I should even keep you late. Curfew and all. The Oz boys won't be worried about you, will they? They told me it'd be fine as long as I'm back before midnight. I see. Well, I won't keep you past then. Would you care to join me for dinner? Oh, dinner date. At the clinic? Yes. I'd be lying if I suggested going somewhere else in town. I can't leave this place after all, being the doctor. I'll be cooking. What do you say? Absolutely. I can't wait to try your cooking. I'm looking forward to enjoying dinner with you. Ha! I feel rather exhausted. It takes a lot of energy to invite someone to dinner. Especially someone you like, after you've lost your wife. Isn't surgery more exhausting? You'd think. Not at all. The medical profession is all about tying up problems and finding solutions. But that doesn't quite work with other people. Human emotions aren't so fixed. Regardless. Yes, I'm glad you accepted. It's been ages since I've thought to eat with someone else. Poke, poke, but your wife. The wife. It took longer than I'd intended. I should be used to making portions for two, but it's a little different when you're cooking for a guest. A guest? Don't fuss over me so much. Oh, I don't mean it like that. I did invite you, though. Now, have a seat. Let's eat. Okay, but are you really sure about this? Sure about what? Well, you didn't tell your wife, right? Isn't she waiting for you to come home? Nobody's told Bunny. It's fine. I come and go as I please, given the nature of my job. And, you're eating with me. Could that be what you really were thinking about? There's no reason to worry. She isn't one to get angry about something so trivial. It really has been ages since I ate with anyone but her. I'm sure she'd be happy for me. Oh. Yes. Cheers. Aww. Aww. He's so cute. No. And angsty. Really angsty. Okay. How was it? Did you find it to your taste? Yes, it was very delicious. 1 second. Aw, he's so cute. There's something about dudes with rings that I like. Not married dudes, because that's like a... Okay, cool, you're here and you're a thing in my face. But you know, I like men's rings. As in, I want to buy myself a man's ring and wear a man's ring. That's what I want. I like that style of ring. How did you hear that? I took your preferences into account when I made it. Really? Yes. I guess you could say I made it just for you. I'm glad you liked it. Ah. What is it? Oh, just nothing. Oh no, I can't help remembering what Mr. Curie said. He said it was like we were married, now I can't get it out of my head. What's wrong? Why have you gone silent? Did you not actually like it? Oh no, it was very good. Well, I guess I'm a little jealous of your wife. Huh? Of her? Well, she's married to someone who's such a wonderful cook. It must be nice. I see. It would be nice if she felt the same way. She doesn't? I wouldn't know. Women's feelings aren't easy for men to understand. Let's not talk about her. She's not here to speak for herself right now. I'd rather hear what you have to say. Me? Yes. Talk about familiars, or anything, really. Tell me about yourself. Well, I have amnesia. And that's how the conversation went. No joke about, like, nothing of consequence happening, because nothing of consequence has happened. Bunny, I know this is rather sudden, but could I ask you a favor? Sure, what is it? I have to go on some house calls now. Would you mind if I asked you to watch the clinic while I was out? Me? Yes. We rarely get patients at this hour, and those that do show up do tend to be cases that can be treated easily. I'm not sure I'm fit to be your stand-in. I'm not asking you to act as a doctor. Even you can manage disinfecting and bandaging wounds, can't you? If you don't think you can handle it, don't force yourself. Just wait for me with the patient. I'll come back as soon as I can. Understand? Okay, just leave it to me. Got this shit. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but you sound almost a little too enthusiastic. I'm a bit concerned. Oh, why is that? You seem like you think you could pick up a scalpel, too. I wouldn't dare. I know you wouldn't. I just had to mention it. Well, I'm off. House calls, huh? Being a doctor must be a lot of work. I wonder why Dr. Robin is the only doctor in town. Well, because he got fucked over out of whatever he was previously doing. Maybe I should become a doctor, too. No. It's a sad life. It's a very sad life. Rip all the doctors going through coronavirus right now, just by the way. Her eyes fell upon the shelves of medical texts in front of her. It doesn't look like there are any books for beginners in here. With a sigh, she grabbed the closest book at hand. Let's see. Is this a foreign language? Yeah, it's called Latin. That couldn't be. I'm sure I could understand it if I tried, but... She could read the letters, but she didn't have the faintest idea of what words they were spelling out. My head is starting to hurt. She carefully put the book back where she'd found it and massaged her temples with her fingers. Huh? Suddenly, something drew her attention to the back of the clinic. I wonder what that door is. Oh no. We're going snooping. The metal door seemed out of place in the wood-furnished clinic. Attracted by the unusual atmosphere around it, she approached. He said there were dangerous drugs in here. Maybe this is where they're kept. Her hand closed around the doorknob, turning it slowly. It won't open. Maybe I'm not supposed to go in. Maybe there's that. I'm so curious. Okay, cool. So we don't actually go through the metal door. Is it his wife? What is going on? Don't you think it's about time for a break, Doctor? Yes, that's a good idea. I'll make some tea. Hey, thank you. No, Blackbeard, we didn't touch the door. Leave us alone. By the way, you didn't go into the back room, did you? Huh? What's with that reaction? No, nothing. Ouch. What are you doing? I can't believe you tried to pick that up with your bare hands. Come here. But the cup... We can deal with that later. First, we need to treat you. She shifted in her seat as he treated her. Did Dr. Robin notice that I tried to go into that room? Her thoughts were in turmoil as she watched his practiced fingers wrap the bandage around her hand. Maybe he's mad. Bunny shrank like a child who'd been scolded. Hey, Bunny. Yes? Please don't shout right in my face like that. Do you know why I'm mad? So he is mad. It's because you tried to clean that cup up without thinking. Huh? If you'd just given it a moment's thought, you'd have realized just how dangerous it was. You aren't very attentive. I'm sorry. Just like my wife. Your wife? Yes. She's quite clumsy. Just like you. That's not the only way you resemble her either. The way you work so hard for the sake of others, and how innocent you are, reminds me of her too. Perhaps that's why I find you so hard to ignore. Oh. Lately, I've been a bit preoccupied with his wedding ring. It makes me think about his wife. I wonder why hearing about her is so uncomfortable for me. Because you like him. You couldn't put a stopper on that. And that's cool, but also chill. Calm down. Keep it down on a dimmer switch. If you can't turn it off. Well, I guess I better be going now. Okay. Thank you again for your hard work today. Oh, by the way, Bunny, there was something I wanted to ask you. Yes. I get the impression that you harbor affection for me. Am I wrong? Affection? Nobody's harboring anything. This isn't a bay of lonely hearts. There are no boats here. I'm asking you if you're in love with me. What makes you ask that? This big hard blush. When people interact with someone they care for, their pupils dilate. I've noticed the same phenomenon in you. That's why I'm asking you if you're in love with me. Oh, well, She bit her lip. She had a vague idea that she might have to voice her feelings someday, but she never would have dreamed that she'd have to come out with it like this. Crazy man of the frickin' doctorage with his science shit. What if I was? What if I was in love with you? What would you do? Nothing. Huh? It's your right to love someone. It's not as if anything I say will change that easily. So, I don't mind if things stay as they are right now. I have no intention of changing my behavior toward you or chastising you for it, so don't worry. No, but you've opened the fucking floodgates for there to be a conversation about this. If I didn't know she was dead, this route would be like so much harsher on my feelings. I'd be like ranting at this point, probably, most likely. In another timeline, I'm like absolutely ranting about how we're like pursuing a married guy, and that's like not kosher. And hopefully I haven't been through the brothel route yet. I hope good things for that other version of me someplace. But, yeah. Could you come in a little earlier tomorrow? I'd like to reorganize my shelves. That's so unfair, Dr. Robin. How can you act so calmly, knowing how I feel? She started to feel something akin to frustration at how flustered he'd made her. So, what do you say? Okay, I'll be here. Good. Take care going home. Good night, Bunny. So at what point does the man say, hey, you know, I've been showing more attentions towards you because guess what? I kind of feel for you too. Hello? Huh? Dr. Robin isn't here. She just assumed that he'd be there whenever she stopped by. Maybe I should just wait. The books and patient charts, which were usually in some state of disarray, were already organized, leaving her with nothing to do. At a loss as to how to pass the time, she took a seat. It's so quiet. I guess this is what it's like when no one's around. Huh? Oh no. Is the metal door unlocked? That door is open! Oh no. Oh no. The metal door that had been locked when she tried it the other day was now ajar. Light poured out from behind the slight crack. I'm so curious. Maybe I should go see what's inside. All right. I've read Blackbeard. I know how this goes. But sure, we'll look behind the door. We'll cast a glance behind the veil. Why don't we? Her curiosity sent chills through her whole body. She looked around the room. Even though she already knew no one else was there, she wanted to be sure. The door to the clinic is... yeah, it's closed. She took a couple of deep breaths, her chest swelling in anticipation of the mystery awaiting her, as she opened the door. It was nothing like she could have ever imagined. The air was cold and stagnant. A sound similar to a blowing wind maintained a perpetual moan. There are all these papers lying around. It certainly didn't look like a supply room, and there was also... Huh? Deep in the depths of the dark room, something was glowing. There was a woman lying inside the glass case. She looked neither old nor young. Her skin was white as snow, and her face was breathtakingly beautiful. What on earth? She couldn't tell if the woman was sleeping or dead. Bunny left that place in a hurry, terrified. Oh shit, oh shit. She closed the door behind her, leaning up against it rather than trusting her weight to her trembling knees. What on earth? Who was that? She didn't know what she'd just seen, but she was painfully aware of the fact that she shouldn't have seen it. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Her heart was still racing. How should I approach Dr. Robin when I see him? Maybe I should just go home today. Bitch left that door open. Don't tell me he didn't. He organized all the books when he asked her to come by early, and then left the door open. It was a fucking trap. Oh, what do I do? I have to get to the clinic soon. The image of the forbidden room was still burned into her mind. It's already time for work. Dr. Robin is going to be mad. No. We don't need you adding to our problems. Good day, my lovely. What's troubling your pretty little head? Who are you? Oh my. Do excuse me. It seems we haven't been introduced. My name is Dorian Gray. I am an old friend of Robin Hood's. I am the priest of the church, and a fucking creepazoid. You're a priest? I'm... Bunny, correct? I know. Given the nature of my work, I'm well acquainted with the goings-on in town. He smiled gently, as if inviting her to unload all her troubles. Why don't you try talking to me about it, if you're so inclined? I'll lend you a kind ear, as a priest. Now, we're completely isolated from the outside world. It's just the two of us in here. Oh, there's that whiny violin solo. Ugh. Please, confess your concerns without reserve. Okay. It's about Dr. Robin. I went inside a room he told me not to. And I found a woman inside. She was sleeping in a glass container. It was so scary. I ran away. I couldn't get it out of my mind, so I couldn't bring myself to go back to the clinic. I'm missing work at the job I finally got. I see. I know it was my fault. He told me not to go in there, but... You couldn't suppress your curiosity? Yes. I see. So you found out about that device. Device? Yes. I couldn't explain in much detail, of course. You know what a skilled physician Robin is, don't you, lovely? Yes. They say there's no disease he can't cure. Yes, that's right. It may be impossible to bring the dead back to life, but he can cure just about any ailment. If he were to encounter an ailment he couldn't treat, what do you think he'd do to preserve his career? Huh? The truth of the matter is a little different, but that's essentially the problem he's grappling with. You can't return spilt milk to the glass it came from, but you can mop it up so it doesn't wet the table. What's important is what you do next, lovely. Oh, great. Well, hopefully he doesn't tell anybody. Hopefully he's a better priest than he is anything else. It is fitting for him to be a priest, too. What's important is what I do next. She kept repeating the words Dorian Gray had given her. Nothing will happen if I just sit by and do nothing. I have to apologize. She froze for a moment as she recalled the scene in that room, but skipping work again was absolutely unforgivable. I have to apologize for missing work yesterday. Hello, Dr. Robin. She racked her brains as she walked to the clinic, but by the time she opened the front door, she still hadn't come up with how she would answer him. He didn't answer at first. Perhaps he hadn't yet noticed she was there. Doctor? Still attempting to formulate an apology, she approached him. But she couldn't help but think that something was a bit off. I see you broke your promise to me. Promise? I thought I told you not to go inside that room. I forgave you the first time. You'd only touched the doorknob. You hadn't gone inside. But not this time. I even warned you again not to go in there. Doctor. It is my fault for not locking the door. But that wasn't your cue to go inside. I don't want anyone going in there. I'm sorry. You can go home. Huh? Neither of us can keep working together feeling like this. The patients might start to get suspicious and feel uncomfortable. You aren't needed here right now. Go back to the Oz estate. I think I lost his accent for a second there, but that's fine. Back already? Didn't you just leave for work? Mr. Karamiya. Why the long face? Did he say something upsetting to you? Dr. Robin can be kind of harsh sometimes. Well, not as cruel as Kira can be, though. I did something bad. Huh? You did? Yes. I did something wrong, and he told me to leave. This doesn't sound like something we can sort out in a little chat here. Why don't you come into my office? I'll hear you out. Oh, shoot. No one should be able to hear us in here. I promise I won't say a word to anyone else, so... My! Karami and Miss Bunny, whatever are you doing here at this hour? Of course, it had to be the last person I wanted in here. I don't really understand the circumstances. But I see you've brought me something entertaining, haven't you? Thank you very much. Don't thank me. I'm talking to the Signorina now. I'd appreciate it if you stepped out. Oh, really? Is this something I can participate in too? That's not exactly it. Wonderful, then please don't hesitate on my account. What are you two standing there for? Hurry up and take a seat. So Kiri's doing this. I hope this doesn't complicate things. So, when you said you did something bad to Dr. Robin, what did you mean exactly? Mr. Karamiya, Mr. Kiri, do you know about the back room of the clinic? Yes. I know it exists. I was told not to go inside, but I was curious. I saw something I don't think I was supposed to. He got mad at me. I see. So you saw it. Well, I can't even blame him for being upset. It's more important to him than even his life. More important than his life? Yes. That's his... Stop it, Karamiya. We shouldn't be talking about him behind his back. Oh, right. Sorry. Miss Bunny, you know what you did was wrong, right? Yes? In that case, go apologize immediately. Apologize until he forgives you. That would be a much better use of your time than talking to this stupid lion, who would have told us everything and would have been straight with us, because Karamiya is a fucking gem. Without a further word of explanation, they ushered her out of the office. Dumped back into the street. Dr. Robin. Bunny. What are you doing here so late? Are you hurt? It doesn't seem that way. You're right. I'm not. I came to apologize. Apologize? She nodded. I wanted to know more about you. I was curious because I care about you, so I wanted to know more. And that's why you went into the locked room. I'm pretty sure that's why. Pretty sure? You're not even certain? Yes. At the time, I was just curious. Why is that door there? What's behind it? I only now understand the reason I was so curious. So you're saying I'm the cause? Am I to take your silence as a yes? Then. What am I going to do with you? How can I be mad when you tell me that? I think I'm a rather unfair man myself, but I imagine you generally feel the same way too. No, I would never. You deny it. So are you saying you deny everything else you just said? No. I'm not mad at you anymore. I forgive you. Really? Yes. I did think I'd tell you someday, didn't I? I did say that I wanted you to meet my wife before. Your wife? She's my wife. Huh? The person inside that device is my wife. I noticed another person's fingerprints on the glass. You looked inside, didn't you? Oh, yes, I did. We became friends and eventually got married. She was so beautiful in her wedding dress on the day of the ceremony. I didn't think there could have been another man happier than I was to have her as my wife. But that happiness crumbled in an instant. The church was attacked in the middle of the ceremony. She took a bullet to the gut and collapsed before me. I watched in shock as her white dress was dyed red. The scene descended into chaos. I had no one to go to for help. I practically dragged her back to the clinic. I somehow managed to save her life, but my skills were at their limit. I've only managed to wake her once so far. but only for a few minutes. If I miss time waking her again, she would die. That's why I leave her sleeping in the equipment, until I find a way to treat her. Oh shit, she isn't dead. She's just dying. Quite rapidly. But also not quite rapidly, because there's a machine for that. I feel. Dr. Robin's wife. She'd been so scared the first time she'd seen her, but oddly enough, this time she didn't feel that way. She pressed her hand against the heavy glass as she peered inside. Beside her, Robin Hood looked into the container in much the same way. She smiled awkwardly as she watched his expression change. I can't bear it. The strength of the bond he had with his wife and the depth of his feelings for her were clear as day. Bunny's love was over before it had even begun. She's so pretty. Perfect for you. Yes, we get that a lot. She's beautiful when she's sleeping. But she's even prettier when she's awake. I love her voice. It's like the warbling of a little bird. You really do love her? Of course I do. I love her more than anything in the world. He said that without any hesitation. He knew how she felt, and should have known that her feelings were getting even stronger for him. But he just went and said that like he was completely unaware. Well, he's fucking married, just by the way. His wife ain't dead yet. Hold on now. I have problems again. She's not dead. The man is still legally married, so calm down. How cruel. She sighed at herself, unwilling to hate him in spite of her feelings. I met her in the church. She was working as a nun with Dorian Gray. She was so reliable, but at the same time, it felt as though she might slip through my fingers. I couldn't take my eyes off for fear of losing her. Being who she was, she caught my attention. Whenever she found the time, she'd come to see me at the clinic, just like you. Every day was peaceful back then. I'd get about 2 patients a day, and then I'd spend the rest of my free time talking with her. It was a lot of fun. I wish I could turn back time. Dr. Robin. I'm sorry. You must find this subject very dull. Not at all. Please go on. I like the way your face looks when you're talking about your wife. She was telling the truth. The feelings she was harboring would never be reciprocated. She knew that, but seeing his smile still made her happy. It looked so gentle and kind. He gave her a radiant smile in return. Really? Well. Really? Well, I was truly happy back then. I regret not realizing it at the time. I never could have imagined things would have ended up this way. Doctor. I'm sorry for taking a dark turn. What else? Oh, I know. Dr. Robin, you look kind of happy. Huh? Do I? Yes, though you seem a bit restless. Well, something I've been waiting for is finally arriving tomorrow. Oh no, he's gonna try to resurrect his wife. And it's gonna go bad, and we're gonna be in the sad soup. Something you've been waiting for? Yes. It's taken me several years to get my hands on it. And tomorrow it will finally be here. I guess that's why I can't settle down, just like a little kid. It's very like you. It's not very like you, but that's kind of nice. I can't tell if that was a compliment or not. Well, do take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Oh no, oh no. It's about to be resurrect wife time. Which is why I think it's a good time to go ahead and do it's restroom time, y'all. It's restroom time. Everybody enjoy your restroom breaks. Okay. Let me get situated. Have my drink. Okay. Let us resume. Mr. Karamiya, Mr. Kiri. I almost called him Dr. Kiri. That's not appropriate. Oh, Signorina, are you heading out now? Yes, to the clinic. What are you doing? We just returned from a stroll, right, Karamiya? Yeah, that's right. Excuse me, sir. What is it, Exel? I have information from the Soldate. Hamelin has returned to town on time. Are you sure? Yes, we've received a number of eyewitness reports. I see. I had foreseen the possibility, but I never really thought it'd happen. We should call a meeting. Do you think we could convene this meeting? Yes, well, assuming everyone decides to behave. Mr. Karamiya? So this Hamelin guy, what's with him? Oh, well, it doesn't concern you. Forget what you just heard for both of our sakes. Go have fun playing Ness. Kiri, you didn't have to say it that way. I don't have time to be picking my words carefully right now. Now let's get going, you two. Understood. Okay. Sorry, Signorina. You know how Kiri is. No, it's okay. I'm used to it, but... Can you really not talk about it? Yeah, I'd rather not get too involved in something so bloody. We'll get this sorted out real quick anyway. You just go about your day like normal, Signorina. Yeah, real bloody. That won't involve me while I work at the clinic. How can I act normal now, though? Telling someone to forget something is easier said than done. The morning's incident had left quite an impression on her. He described it as bloody. I wonder if someone's hurt again. Dr. Robin? Oh, no. Dr. Robin, do you know about a person named Mr. Hamelin? Where on earth did you hear that name? Mr. Carmi and the others mentioned it this morning. They said Mr. Hamelin was back in town. They looked so serious when they were talking about it. I got curious, but they wouldn't tell me anything. So I thought maybe I'd ask you. Hamelin is... Doctor? No, nothing. So, they were talking about Hamelin. It was something about calling a meeting, I think. A meeting. They might have captured him already, then. Is this Mr. Hamelin a bad person? Yes. He committed a grave crime. So grave that it's a shame they let him live. So we're not gonna go for the revenge? We're gonna be chill about this? I hope. I do hope. Although I imagine not. I wonder who it could be at this hour. Huh? Dr. Robin? Sorry for showing up so late. I have something I'd like to talk to you about. May I come in? Oh, okay, please do. My back is fucking killing me. Hold on, one second. Huh, so this is your room. Yes, is it weird? No, not at all. It's very you. I feel kind of nervous with him in my room. Please wait here. I'll go get some drinks from the main house. No, it's fine. Don't worry about me. Okay, so what was it you wanted to talk about? I came to ask how you feel about me. About how I feel? Yes. I asked you before if you harbored feelings for me, and you said you did. Do you still feel that way? Yes. Sorry. But the answer is yes. I love you, Dr. Robin. I know I shouldn't, but I still love you. Even if it's like platonically and stuff. I love you too. Huh? I love you. I see you as a woman. Which is a creepy sentence. But alright, sure. But what about your wife? You don't need to worry about her. That's my job. Worry. Big worry. Big worry. What did you just put in my mouth? What the fuck? The fuck? This guy just put a drug... Why is this guy administering drugs to us? The married man just confessed that he loves us and he's put drugs in our mouth. I'm very confused. A drug to open your mind a bit. Girls like you are hesitant late bloomers. What the fuck? I'm uncomfy all of a sudden. I'll leave my ring over here, along with my feelings for her. I'm sorry, fucking what? Right now, you're all I want. I want you to accept my feelings. So you showed up in the middle of the night. Married, which was a pre-existing condition. You didn't decide to show up in the middle of the night married. You were pre-existing married. Like, nothing you can do about that one. But, like, you show up to a woman's room in the middle of the night. You're like, I love you. You give her drugs to help her with her stuff and so on. You pretty much give her like a woman's version of Viagra or whatever the fuck. You slide off your ring and you're like, okay, forget about my wife for a second. Let's just bang. I'm supposed to be into this? I'm supposed to be into this? Oh, the screen fades to black. Oh no. Oh no. I'm very uncomfy. I wonder where Dr. Robin went. When she woke up, Robin Hood was nowhere to be seen. Maybe it was a dream, but gosh, I hope it was a dream. My level of uncomfy went from like 5 to 6. I'm not drastically uncomfy. There are things this game has done that have made me wildly uncomfy. But I'm a little uncomfy. Let's take a sip of my water. I'm going to take another sip of my water. Okay. The marks hidden beneath her clothes were proof of the time they'd spent together. Sir, there's trouble. Huh? What happened? Several guns have disappeared from the arms storage. Oh shit, that's right. Because he's gonna go after Hamelin. So not only did he show up in the middle of the night with the pre-existing condition of being married and cheating on his dying wife, well, his chronologically frozen wife with a chick that he gave drugs to. Because that still creeps me out a little. That he just popped drugs in her mouth and that was how that went. She didn't even get like a say or anything. And then he's gonna go and fight to the death with Hamelin and assume that he's gonna die. This was a I'm about to die type sex. Okay. Huh? Several guns. When? Last night. I don't know. I just know that when I checked this morning, they were gone. Could the Soldate have taken them? I can't say with certainty that they haven't, but I believe it's the doing of an outside party. I mean, if it's I'm about to die sex, I get that. I understand the rationale a lot better. Because it's like, okay, you're about to die, so fuck it. Throw it to the wind. Doesn't matter anymore. Outside party? Oh, it was Curie's voice. Curie. Continue. On what basis do you suppose it was the work of an outsider? There were marks indicating that the lock had been pried open. I see. If they were a member of the Familia, they would have used a key. And the vault is inspected twice a day, morning and night. In other words, it must have happened sometime between last night and this morning. Between last night and this morning, huh? Could it be? Okay, I kind of forgive him a little bit for having I'm about to die sex. But I'm still a little weirded out. Dr. Robin! She burst through the clinic's door. There was no one else to be seen inside, except her own panicked reflection in the metal of the surgical instruments. Huh, Dr. Robin, we don't see you around here much. I'm on a house call. Could you move out of my way, please? Kindly, thank you. House call? Is this about the Grimsdawn? Yes. He's in this town, so he's one of my dear patients, isn't he? Absolutely dear to me, wailed Grimace, looking between Robin Hood's masked face and the big black bag in the doctor's hands. Well, are you sure you don't want to sit this one out? What's the matter? I'm just gonna give him a little checkup. Yeah, but there's some things you just can't do. I was told not to let anyone through. I see. I guess I have no choice. I'm sorry, but if you absolutely need to get through, you need the Dawn's... Good night, Welt. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Do no harm, take no shit, Doctor is here. I wonder where Dr. Robin could be. He's fucking shit up, sweetie. The town was too big to search haphazardly. She searched the room, hoping for some kind of clue. Perhaps maybe it's about Hamelin. I think it's about Hamelin. If only I could figure out where he was. The neatly arranged medical instruments, the Spartan furnishings. The room wasn't any different than it usually was, but without its owner, it felt vaguely sad. Huh? There were a few crinkly papers underneath the empty trash can. Thinking their position odd, she picked them up. Oh no, it's a suicide note. Huh. The defenses are much tighter than I'd imagined. He took a breath as he looked down at the fallen Oz Soldate before him. And also, this place has changed quite a bit. The building had been used as a courthouse in the past. That had been long, long ago, before the Mafia had gained so much power. The location where formal trials were held, it had been the most sacred place in town, once upon a time. How will we be able to tell the difference between good and evil when criminals are treated so warmly? No matter. I will just have to maintain my own faith. Oh, fuck. A letter? For me? Yeah, baby. You know it. The text was cut off at a point, but it opened with Bunny's name. Dear Bunny. Dear Bunny, by the time you read this letter, I'll be off trying to cure a long-standing illness. It has been an all-consuming nightmare, gnawing at me for ages. It all started on that day. The day that should have been the most wonderful day in my life. was smashed into 1,000 tiny pieces with a single bullet. My wife was shot in the middle of our wedding. I mean, if it was in the middle, is it technically his wife? I'll save my questions for the end. The growing red stain on her white dress. The warm blood, shrieks, gunfire, footsteps, roars. I remember it just as clearly as if it were yesterday. The incident that destroyed part of the town started at my wedding. It was the result of the attack by Familiar Grimm's Don, Hamelin. He was brought to my clinic after things settled down. Treat Hamelin. Please. You're the only one who can do it. God, Mia. Do you understand what you're asking me to do? It was Hamelin's fault that she was injured. Are you expecting me, the victim's husband, to treat the perpetrator? That's ridiculous. I know. But you're the town doctor. Didn't you take an oath to treat all patients equally? Familiar Grimm's Caprigine Scarlet was the one who shot Hamelin. You could argue it's just the Familiar trying to clean up its own mess, but his meritorious efforts deserve some recompense. Please, Dr. Robin Hood, save our Dawn. You can hate me if you want, but please. Do my feelings not matter? It just happened that your precious woman was the target this time. If it had been anyone else, I'm sure you would... Kiri, stop it. Fine. I'll do it. Really? I have no right to refuse. Right? Thank you, Dr. Robin. Karamia. Is the law going to be on my side? Will it judge him fairly? Yes. If we didn't punish bad people, the world wouldn't be able to function. He said. And then Hamelin got exiled. After that, Hamelin was exiled from town. And Familiar Grimm lost much of their territory. This is what they call the ultimate punishment. I certainly don't agree. I still regret that I didn't refuse to treat him back then. Even if others can forgive him, I can't. If others won't punish him, then I'll have to judge him with my own hands. I will have my revenge. I'll put him in the ground even if I have to lose everything. have no problem using you to that end either. I harbor no affection for you. You were nothing more than a pawn in my plot. I used your feelings for me to get my retribution against one man. You must be upset upon knowing the truth. But that's the kind of man I am. I am deeply grateful for your kindness. Thank you for loving someone like me. You fuck. You fuck. Deep in an abandoned building, in the center of a moldy smelling room, sat a man in a simple chair. I finally found you. The man looked up when Robin Hood spoke. He tried to stand up, but his feet were bound to the chair's legs. I thought someone was here. So it was you, Robin. From all the noise, I thought it was a drunk or a bandit. Robin Hood approached Hamlin, looking him right in the eye. He loomed over Hamlin, still staring at him as he dropped his bag on the floor. That certainly is some heavy baggage you have with you. If you came to perform surgery, I'm not sure you'll have the time. We haven't seen each other in ages. Come on, say something. How's your girlfriend doing? Oh no, you're married. I should call her your wife. She died. What? What did you say? Oh shit. I stopped the life support system. She should be dead by now. That's amazing. Your job as a doctor is to preserve her life. And yet, you killed her. Why would you do such a thing? No, I didn't kill her. She'd still be alive if you hadn't pulled the plug though, right? You've heard the one who pulled it, right? No, I didn't kill her. You killed her. I mean, man. He led to the circumstances, which allowed her death to be more easily manageable. I'll kill you with my own two hands. In contrast to Robin Hood's murderous rage, Hamlin had a pleasant smile on his face. First your wife and now me. I see you've become something of a mad scientist since we last met. Robin Hood pressed the muzzle of his gun into Hamlin's shoulder. I'm serious. Serious or not, it's still hilarious. Our dear doctor's gone all homicidal. The bullet blasted through Hamlin's shoulder and the chair alike, splattering the floor behind them with blood. I said I was serious. You were pretty far off from anything vital with that shot, though. Is it too dark for you? We could turn on some lights. Robin Hood pulled out a scalpel and stabbed it into the wound. He looked down at Hamlin with grim eyes as he gouged into the tender flesh. Oh, I'm not going to kill you quickly. I'll take my time and make sure you feel the full depth of my suffering. 80 boy. Even though his eyebrows were knit in pain, Hamlin was still smiling. What's so funny? The fact that you think you can kill me. You should know better than anyone else that we're immortal, dear doctor. We're abnormal creatures that won't even die of old age. And that woman you picked? She'd become an old hag, die, and leave you all alone. But you married her anyway. You really are strange. And she was a hooker, too. You really are totally deranged. Okay, cool. Because I had a question. I was like, she was a nun at the church. I mean, that sounds like hooker work from what I know of this area. But, you know, alright, sure. No, she was a nun. She was born and raised in the brothel to a harlot mother who didn't even know who her father was. I knew her since she was young. She left the brothel before she was of age and went to work in the church. Ah. So she was a virgin when you got to her. Huh? Shut up. If you're gonna play judge, jury, and executioner, at least let me talk. Oh, look. Your hand stopped moving. Why don't we try a little harder to kill me? Not that it's going to work, of course. Shut up. He pulled a machine gun from the bag. Okay, swung it before Hamlin and held down the trigger. Within moments, Hamlin's body was riddled with bullets. When the magazine finally emptied, Robin Hood lowered the gun, panting. What? Done already? Well, I guess you can't help it, being such a weakling. I swore that I would kill you no matter what it took. I know. You don't have to keep saying it. Feel free to break my legs and tear off my arms, dear Robin. I give them to you. But you're gonna have to clean it up too, aren't you? You're the sole doctor in town, after all. Though I don't think I could handle treating an enemy myself. Oh, I know. Why don't you try poisoning my brain the way you poisoned my left eye? That might be a surprisingly easy method to kill me. Eh? I refuse. I have to take a second to sip my water, actually. I love this. I refuse. I'm gonna make you suffer. That's enough, Doctor. The cold mouth of a gun touched the back of Dr. Robin's head. Put the gun on the floor and put your hands over your head. Karamia kicked the machine gun out of reach after Robin Hood set it onto the ground. Kiri entered the room as well, taking care to not step in any errant splatters of blood. Dr. Robin Hood, you are being charged with the crimes of theft of weapons from our estate, kidnapping and trespassing, and just being an all-around fucking dick. Soldati surrounded Robin Hood and handcuffed him as Kiri spoke. Let me go. I have to kill him. He struggled towards Hamlin as the Soldati carried him off. Karamia only shook his head in response. You can't kill him. We're immortal. That's not true. We still don't have proof that we can't die. Our wounds won't heal without treatment, and I think I could kill him. It seems his hatred has driven him insane. This man is not competent. Take him to solitary confinement. Even with the hands of the soldati on him, Robin Hood managed to bring himself before the dawn of Familia Oz. He wrested his hands free and seized Carmia by the collar. Why did you leave us in the church like that? If you'd helped me take her to the clinic, then maybe... Maybe. It's our job to control conflicts. We had an obligation to stop Familia Grimm's rampage. But what about her? Maintaining public order is our job, but protecting the citizens of Oz territory is our foremost priority. The lives of those outside our domain, like your precious woman, come second. So you abandoned us, intentionally. You're welcome to think that. Robin Hood let go of Carmia's collar and crumpled to the ground. The soldate left the room with Robin Hood in tow, the doctor sobbing even as he was dragged unceremoniously across the floor. Did I make the wrong decision back then? You can make as many preposterous suppositions as you like, but it won't change the past, Carmia. I know that, but it just feels so hopeless, is all. Maybe you should have a seat. Axel sighed, unable to watch her pace around the room any longer. I'm sorry, I just can't sit still. She had been brought back to the estate at Carmia and Kiri's behest after they tracked her down at the clinic. With the soldate out, the mansion was deserted. Dr. Robin. Kiri had confiscated the letter. Axel, who had been tasked with watching her, wouldn't let her leave to see what was going on. Trapped in the room, she felt as though she was suffocating. Her pent-up tension kept her moving back and forth. It seems the dawn is back. I'm back. I'm exhausted. I will prepare a drink. Get me one too. Make sure it's a tasty one, alright? Get your own drink. Now see, this is the problem with incompetent subordinates. Mr. Carmia. I know. You want to hear about Dr. Robin. Carmia stretched and sat down on the sofa. He patted the spot next to him, inviting her to sit down. He's been arrested. Arrested? He nodded. Seeing her expression, he wrapped his arm around her and pulled her towards him. He spoke softly and deliberately, both to comfort and convince her. The doctor did something he shouldn't have. That's why he's in prison. Something he shouldn't have. But Dr. Robin, he did it all for someone he loves. So you know. She hung her head and nodded, unable to bear Carmia's gaze a moment longer. I know hurting people is wrong, but Dr. Robin's been hurt plenty himself, so I think you'll be better off not expecting compassion. Mr. Curie. Even if he'd insisted on getting his revenge, we may have been able to protect him if he'd opted for a different method. But not only did he steal weapons from us, he harmed our soldati. Protecting him was completely out of the question. But isn't it ironic? He's been locked up along with the man he hates. I'm sure his beloved is turning over in her grave. This hurt. I told you we'd be sad. A few days after Robin Hood was imprisoned, a funeral was held for his wife. The coffin was tucked away into a hole in one corner of the graveyard. The attendees could have been counted on one hand. Are you really not going to invite Mr. Robin? Are you really suggesting we invite the culprit to the victim's funeral? But she's Mr. Robin's wife. He won't be able to see her again once she's been interred. See her? She's dead. She can't talk, and it'll just make for more trouble. You really are cold-blooded. I'm not sure why you should be concerned with the temperature of my bodily fluids. There now. Could you two keep it down in the graveyard? You're being rude. Carmia, will the four of you be all day? Manboy and Dorian Gray, the latter holding a single lily, followed Carmia. Yeah, please go ahead. Dorian Gray nodded and knelt next to the coffin. She was born in the brothel. Children being born there aren't uncommon, but we've never had any quite as unusual as her. Although she left the house, bearing an interest in the world outside the brothel, she never worked as a prostitute. So I entrusted her with the care of the church. Concerned for her livelihood, I gave her work and a home. The life of a prostitute is a short one. I thought she was different, but I guess she wasn't able to beat her fate. Dorian Gray smiled fondly, touching the name engraved into the casket. The day I bury you has finally come, my lady. May you rest in peace. He made the cross in front of his chest, and then placed the flower atop the casket. Manboy began the burial after Dorian stood up. Brown earth was heaped atop the black casket. Kiri, do you have a moment to discuss Robin? Are we heading back to the estate? Are you sure we shouldn't stay until the end? It may have been an informal one, but the ceremony is over. Please leave the rest to me. Manboy wiped the sweat off his brow and smiled at her. It's about time for the shift change. Sir, I'm going to head right to my post. Take Bunny with you. Me? I wonder why he's taking me with him. She cocked her head to the side, not sure what Carmia's intent was. Oh, I see. Axel nodded, realizing what the Don had intended. I'm gonna go handle the shift change. Stay near... No, never mind. You don't need to. The doctor is on the other side of this door. You should tell him about the funeral. With that, Axel turned around and left. She moved her gaze towards the door after she watched Axel leave. I need to replenish my water. Yeah. From the topmost proper. She moved her gaze towards the door after she watched Axel leave. Mr. Robb is on the other side of this door. She wanted to see him, and she would be able to. How should she approach him? How should she act? She put her hand on the door, feeling as though the weight of her muddled feelings might crush her heart. Bitch did kind of use her, so you know. At the end of the stairs, beyond the door, was a jail cell. Mr. Robin? Realizing it was her, he averted his gaze. Why are you here? Did you come to laugh at me? No. Did you come to tell me how much you hate me then? No. His eyes were emotionless, dead. She opened her mouth as words piled up, filling her throat. Today, we held a funeral for your wife. Today? How ridiculous. No one even told me. Mr. Curie said we shouldn't invite you. But... no. I guess it's only natural. I am the one who killed her, after all. Robin Hood laughed and clawed at his own neck. It was swollen and bloodied. She wondered how many times he must have done that already. What a wretched outcome. I couldn't kill Hamelin, and I can't even kill myself. I wish I could die and join her. But this body won't die, and I don't know how to keep on living anymore. Mr. Robin, don't you see? Don't you see just how pathetic the man you adored is? Please, just forget me already. You're kind of like her. I'm sure you'll be able to find a decent man, so just... I'm sorry. Comparing you to her is unkind. Can't I replace her? She was who she was. And you are who you are. I appreciate your affection, really. But I can't love you. I didn't fall in love with you because I wanted anything in return. I love seeing your smile when you talked about your wife. You look so happy from the bottom of your heart. It even made me feel happy. If I could see that smile again, I think I'd be fine. Even if you never looked at me again. So, I'm gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna keep waiting for you forever. Well, that's a decision. Are you finished? Yes, I told him. And? And what? Didn't you talk to him about personal things other than the funeral? You're such a pervert, Axel. I am not... Axel, good luck with work. Hey, at least let me explain myself. I guess she's not really worried. I guess Mr. Karmia and I may be too protective of her. Yeah, she got this shit figured out. Dude, first time was taken by a dude who used her, gave her druggies. I'm a little upsetty, just by the way. This one goes on the shelf? Oh, isn't the new doctor supposed to be here this afternoon? With Robin Hood in prison, the town had lost its only doctor. The Mafia had gotten together and decided to call a doctor from another town, but no one had stayed for long. The longest one had stayed about a single week, and one hadn't even lasted half a day. Most of the doctors ultimately gave up and skipped town. I hope the next one stays longer. With Robin Hood gone, Bunny had been maintaining the clinic. She always made sure to carefully clean the building to try and make sure each new doctor was comfortable. But somehow it was always left in a shocking state of mess by the time they left. Even so, she still felt the effort was worthwhile. It was the place she cared for, after all. Oh, here already? She looked up, thinking her plans to go meet the new doctor at the town gates had gone awry. What a surprise. You're living here. Dr. Robin, or Mr. Robin. Look-alike? What are you talking about? It's me. The real Mr. Robin? Yes. The Mafia begged me to take the job since no one else would. I do have to wonder about the people in this town, if they want to be treated by a criminal like myself. But I see you really did wait for me. You're hopeless. And fucking dumb. Did you not believe me back then? Nope. I was expecting that you'd have forgotten about me. I still love you, even now. Perhaps she found it easy to express her feelings because she knew nothing would come of them. Robin Hood smiled and shrugged. I guess you're not the only one. But you really have a bad taste in men. I think I agree. Welcome back, Mr. Robin. It's good to be home. And that's it. We just never touch on that again. Guy says, hey, I don't love you. Hey, I'm gonna use you. Hey, I don't love you. Like, 5 times. Well, except for that I use you thing. He said that once. But he goes, hey, I don't love you. Like 5 times. Says I love you once. I'm upsetty. Hopefully the good route, like, redeems this character for me. Because I wanted it to be squishier, and it was really just filled with revenge and hate. And really, I should have known better. I am Futa. I am done. There's so much. He killed his wife. Okay, alright, okay. Let me walk you through that. Let me sit down with Futa here and walk Futa through this, because she's dumb. But she gets dumber each playthrough, I feel. So, a man who is married, whose wife is not dead, as we previously thought, enters her room in the middle of the night. Says, hey, I love you, don't worry about my wife. Which isn't the first... isn't anything that tips her off to anything being weird. And then he goes, oh, here's some sex drugs or whatever. And I know about these, don't worry about it. They'll be fine, I'm a doctor. Trust me. I'm sorry. Trust me, I'm a doctor. That happens. And then he leaves a note explaining everything and saying, oh, by the way, I also don't love you and I'm using you to get at guns and stuff and try to fuck up the dude who I blame my wife's death on, even though I just killed my wife. BT dubs. And she's like, okay, I'll wait for you. Don't worry about it. I'll forgive you anyways, you fuck. And then he comes back and he's like, oh, you're fucking hopeless. I fucking hate you. Die. And she's like, ah, I love you too. Ah. I appreciate that Mans was not willing to be like, oh, you know what? My wife's not technically dead yet, but I've fallen for a new girl because my heart is that easily turned. I appreciate that. I appreciate the man's freaking commitment and for not being a man thought. I appreciate. But he also just had sex with a lady just to get at his revenge. And that seems kind of hellaciously thoughty. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. I'm really looking forward to getting to the other half of this. Getting some more info out of this, because if his hate path is all he's got, I believe in your good side, dude. Maybe that makes me the dumb heroine, but I believe in your good side. That it exists someplace. But yeah, just goes to show you it's always the pretty ones that try to commit horrible, heinous murder. And, it only would have been more fitting if I gave him a Batman voice, but I'm not doing that to my poor throat. But yeah, okay. Stay away from married men. Y'all have a nice evening.